as the fuel for success, but in reality, motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on mood, environment, and circumstances. What truly leads to long-term success is consistency. Many people start their journey with high motivation. They feel energized, excited, and ready to change their lives. They set goals, make plans, and promise themselves that they will stay committed. However, after a few days or weeks, motivation begins to fade. Challenges appear, progress feels slow, and excitement disappears. This is the point where most people quit, not because the goal is impossible, but because they were relying only on motivation. Consistency is what separates those who succeed from those who stop. It is the ability to keep showing up even when you do not feel like it. It is doing the work when it is boring, difficult, or uncomfortable. Consistency is not about intensity, it is about persistence over time. One of the most important truths to understand is that motivation is emotional, but consistency is behavioral. Emotions change quickly. Some days you feel motivated, other days you do not. But behavior is something you can control. When you choose to act regardless of how you feel, you build discipline. Discipline is the foundation of consistency. It means doing what needs to be done even when your mind resists it. For example, a student who studies every day regardless of mood will eventually outperform someone who studies only when they feel motivated. A person who exercises regularly, even without excitement, will achieve better results than someone who only works out occasionally when inspired. Consistency also builds momentum. When you repeat an action daily, it becomes easier over time. The brain adapts to routines, and tasks that once felt difficult start to feel natural. This is how habits are formed. Once a habit is established, you no longer need motivation to perform it. It becomes part of your identity. Another important aspect of consistency is trust in yourself. Every time you follow through on your commitments, you strengthen self-trust. You begin to believe in your ability to keep promises to yourself. On the other hand, every time you quit or delay actions because of low motivation, self-doubt increases. Over time, consistency builds confidence, while inconsistency weakens it. It is also important to understand that progress is not always visible immediately. Many people lose motivation because they do not see quick results. However, real growth often happens slowly and silently. Just like planting a seed, you do not see immediate results, but beneath the surface, development is taking place. Consistency ensures that growth continues even when it is not visible. To stay consistent, it helps to focus on systems instead of feelings. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" Ask, "What is the next small step I need to take?" Breaking big goals into small daily actions makes consistency easier and more manageable. Environment also plays a role. When you surround yourself with positive habits, supportive influences, and clear routines, consistency becomes easier to maintain. Reducing distractions and creating structure helps you stay on track even when motivation is low. Staying consistent when motivation disappears is the key to long-term success. Motivation may start the journey, but consistency completes it. Success is not built on perfect days, it is built on repeated effort during imperfect days. When you learn to stay disciplined and keep moving forward regardless of how you feel, you develop the strength to achieve anything you set your mind to. Focusing on solutions instead of problems means training your mind to look for ways forward rather than staying stuck in negativity, complaints, or fear. Problems are a natural part of life. Everyone faces them, whether in studies, work, relationships, or personal goals. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is not the absence of problems, but the way they respond to them. When people focus on problems, they often get trapped in a cycle of stress and overthinking. They keep repeating questions like, "Why did this happen?" Or, "Why is this so difficult?" While these questions may feel natural, they do not create progress. Instead, they increase frustration and make the situation feel worse than it actually is. The mind becomes stuck in the problem instead of moving toward a solution. On the other hand, focusing on solutions shifts your mindset from emotional reaction to practical action. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you begin asking, "What can I do now?" This simple change in thinking opens the door to possibilities. It helps you take control of the situation rather than feeling controlled by it. One of the most powerful benefits of a solution-focused mindset is emotional stability. Problems often create stress, anxiety, or frustration. But when you shift your attention to solutions, your mind becomes calmer and more organized. You stop wasting energy on things you cannot change and start using your energy to improve what you can control. Another important benefit is productivity. When your mind is focused on solutions, you naturally begin taking action. You start identifying steps, making plans, and finding ways to improve the situation. This leads to real progress instead of just worry. Problems do not disappear by thinking about them. They disappear by solving them. A solution-focused mindset also builds confidence. Every time you successfully solve a problem, no matter how small, you strengthen your belief in your abilities. You begin to trust yourself more because you have evidence that you can handle difficulties. Over time, this confidence grows and prepares you for bigger challenges in life. It is also important to understand that focusing on solutions does not mean ignoring problems. It means acknowledging the problem without letting it control your mindset. You accept that the problem exists, but you do not stop there. You immediately shift your attention toward what can be done next. For example, if you fail at something, focusing on the problem would mean constantly thinking about the failure, blaming yourself, or feeling discouraged. But focusing on the solution would mean analyzing what went wrong, identifying what can be improved, and taking steps to perform better next time. The situation is the same, but the outcome depends on your mindset. This approach also improves decision-making. When you focus on solutions, you become more logical and less emotional. You stop reacting impulsively and start thinking clearly. This helps you make better choices in difficult situations. Another key aspect is resilience. Life is full of challenges, and not every problem has an immediate solution. But a solution-focused mindset helps you stay strong even in uncertainty. Instead of giving up, you keep searching, learning, and adapting until you find a way forward. Over time, this mindset becomes a habit. You naturally start looking for answers instead of dwelling on difficulties. You become someone who others rely on during tough situations because you bring clarity, calmness, and direction. Focusing on solutions rather than problems is a powerful mindset shift that transforms the way you handle life. Problems will always exist, but your response determines your growth. When you choose solutions, you choose progress. When you choose action over worry, you choose improvement over stagnation. This mindset not only helps you overcome challenges, but also builds confidence, resilience, and long-term success in every area of life. Never stopping believing in your potential means maintaining faith in your ability to grow, improve, and achieve success regardless of your current situation or past failures. It is the mindset that you are not limited by where you are today, but defined by how much you are willing to develop tomorrow. Your potential is not fixed. It is expandable through effort, learning, and persistence. Many people lose confidence in themselves when they face repeated failures or slow progress. They start believing that they are not capable, not talented enough, or not meant for success. This type of thinking becomes a barrier that stops growth. In reality, most limitations are not real, they are mental. When belief weakens, and when effort weakens, results also decline. This creates a cycle of self-doubt. Believing in your potential means breaking that cycle. It means understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a part of the learning process. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every setback provides experience. And every challenge gives you an opportunity to grow stronger. People who succeed are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to give up on themselves after failing. One of the most important aspects of believing in your potential is growth mindset. This mindset focuses on improvement rather than perfection. Instead of thinking, "I cannot do this," you begin thinking, "I cannot do this yet." That small word "yet" changes everything. It introduces the idea that abilities can be developed over time with practice and effort. Your potential is also closely connected to your actions. Belief alone is not enough. You must support it with consistent effort. When you take action despite fear or uncertainty, you begin to prove to yourself that you are capable. Each small success builds confidence. Over time, these experiences accumulate and strengthen your belief in what you can achieve. Another important point is that comparison can weaken belief in your potential. When you constantly compare yourself to others, especially those who are ahead of you, you may feel behind or inadequate. However, everyone has a different journey, different timing, and different starting point. Instead of comparing yourself to others, it is more powerful to compare yourself to your past self. Growth becomes clearer when you measure progress over time rather than against others. Believing in your potential also requires patience. Growth does not happen instantly. It takes time to develop skills, build habits, and see results. Many people give up too early because they expect quick success. But those who stay consistent, even when progress feels slow, eventually experience significant transformation. Trusting the process is a key part of maintaining belief in yourself. Self-talk also plays a major role in shaping belief. The way you speak to yourself influences your confidence. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, your mind begins to accept that as truth. But if you remind yourself that you are learning, improving, and capable of growth, your mindset becomes stronger and more positive. Encouraging self-talk helps you stay motivated during difficult times. It is also important to surround yourself with positive influences. The environment you are in affects how you think about yourself. Being around supportive people, inspiring ideas, and growth-oriented content can strengthen your belief in your potential. On the other hand, negative environments can weaken your confidence over time. Never stopping belief in your potential is about maintaining confidence in your ability to grow no matter what challenges you face. Your current situation does not define your future. Your past does not limit your possibilities. What matters most is your willingness to keep learning, keep improving, and keep moving forward. When you truly believe in your potential, you unlock the courage to take action, the strength to overcome obstacles, and the mindset needed to achieve long-term success. A winning mindset is not about being perfect. It is about making better choices every single day. Take responsibility for your life. See challenges as opportunities. Never stop learning. Stay consistent even when motivation fades. Focus on solutions instead of problems. And never stop believing in your potential. These principles may sound simple, but when practiced consistently, they have the power to transform your life. Remember, winners are not separated by talent alone. They are separated by their mindset, their habits, and their willingness to keep moving forward when others give up. So, starting today, choose to think differently, act with purpose, and grow through every challenge. Because success begins in the mind long before it appears in your life. Thank you.